then I walked into another bakery. And that is like just so telling because of the fact that it's like, well, there's this problem, but obviously it's not my perspective, so I'm just gonna keep going from there. When you were talking about, that calling and your friend who, I cannot wrap my head around knowing that many operas that you could just do at the drop of a hat. And it made me think of my son Jeremy. When Jeremy was in 4th grade, he decided he wanted to join the band. And he had never played an instrument, nothing. He decided on the tenor saxophone, which was bigger than he was. And within 2 years, he played 13 instruments.
Wow.
He was the youngest person to ever join the Milpitas Community Concert Band. They told him he didn't even qualify to audition. And he said, let me try. And you had to be 12, he was only 10. And he qualified to join the band.
Wow.
And, he transposes in his head. He can tune in his head.
Wow.
He can write and read music in a heartbeat. And I'm thinking, this kid's gonna buy mommy a mansion! And he decided at a very young age he never wanted to be a musician. He wanted to do it for fun, but he did not want to be a professional musician.
Wow.
And everybody was telling me, it's like, look, this is his calling. This is what he does. And, and it's like, well, Jeremy, do you like music? And he goes, oh yeah, I love music. I said, well, why don't you want to be a musician? And he said, well, one, everybody keeps telling me that that's what I need to do just because I'm good at it. And two, once it becomes my job, it's not going to be fun anymore.
Right.
And it was like, well, I can't complain about that. I can't cross him on that. And he enjoys music. He still does the band. And people, it's like, well, why isn't he doing this professionally? And I said, because he doesn't want to.
What does he do?
He was a truck driver, then he was a tow truck driver, and then he was injured, and now he does computer work, and he still plays music when he feels like it. But that idea but you're meant to do this. You need to do this the way your parents, it's like, well, no, this is your path. And how often do we get so wrapped up in what somebody can do that we forget to ask if it's what they want to do?
Right.
See, the thing is, you raise him to become his own person.
Yes.
Yeah, that kind of bit me in the butt a few times. It's like, Mom, yes, I know I told you to do this, but my mansion. That's okay. Goes, well, Mom, you're very talented. Why don't you get your own mansion? And I can come live in it. No. Yes, go ahead.
I love photography, but I wouldn't want to do it for a living.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh.
It's that passion. Recently I posted on Twitter that somebody told me, they pointed at a mansion and said, well, that's what the goal is. That's what you're working towards. That's what you want. That's all, and it's like, this is where you should be. And I said, but I don't want a mansion. All I saw was maintenance. Like, I don't like cleaning my house. What am I going to do with that?
But if you can afford the mansion, you can afford the help.
Yeah, please, if I can afford the mansion, I'll just use that money to, do something else. I don't want a mansion, I just want the money that I could use to get a mansion.
Yeah.
Go buy an RV in my Rottweiler car. So thank you very much for such an amazing talk and pointing out these things, because it's like seeing them listed down, and it's like, oh my gosh, it makes sense. And that each one of those aspects has its light and shadow side, and that's for us to figure out. So, thank you so much, and I'm so glad we've got that tape, because I definitely, personally, will want to go back through that one again. So it's time for our donations, for contributing, and give you guys a few minutes to get your checkbooks out or write things out, or and when the basket goes by you, if you don't have anything to put into it, put a blessing into it, put a wish into it, put a good thought into it, because we can use those too. That's valuable too. So if I could get a couple of people who could help with the basket management to come up.
Where are the baskets?
I believe
I
Corky.
couldn't get in Dottie's office with Lon.
Yeah, Corky is going to go and get the baskets out. Now that we're locking everything up front on Sundays, it does kind of throw it off where it's like, oh, it just go in there. But you know, certain needs became evident, and after we had a couple of cases of things disappearing, I mean, you know, you hold that best theory for the world, and you got to be practical.
Yeah.
You got to be sensible about it.
So anybody got a hat?
Yeah. How's the hat? You know, that's probably in Dottie's office too.
Dottie has a hat.
And there we go.
Right, exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
they've got the air conditioner, they just need
Oh, those are the best.
to get
Where
the,
did they come from?
Dottie's office.
Oh, they were at Dottie's office where they were locked up.
Yeah, they're
Alrighty.
just waiting for the crane.
Just waiting. Yeah, because that worked out so well last
Yeah.
time they came here with a crane.
Dottie's kinda like, hey, no cranes, no cranes.
Giving to the ministry, from which we receive our spiritual support and nurturing, is an